Hey, Yinning at Life gang. It's Kimberley Roberts, your host here. And I'm so excited to deliver little bits of insight on living your best, most extraordinary life with, of course, Yin Yoga, traditional Chinese medicine, reflexology, and even mindset hacks. So, thank you so much for pressing play on today's episode. Let's do this. Hey there, Yinning at Life gang. It is Kimberley Roberts here, and I am back for another episode. So I want to talk about the art of slowing the F down, finding calm, and learning to trust the wisdom that is already inside of you. And I will tell you, when you're over the age of 40, you're like done with the hustling, the being super stressed out, and not trusting yourself. Like, who is done with that phase, right? I am. And I'm sure there's lots of you out there that are listening to this thinking, yeah, I'm either there or you know what? I kind of want to be there and I need just a little bit of help. So go ahead, pour yourself a cup of tea or a latte or a kombucha, whatever floats your boat. Find your cozy corner on your couch and give me a hot few minutes here to talk about this subject, stillness, why it feels so hard and even uncomfortable. And this is something that actually comes up a lot in my yin yoga classes that I teach on my app, the SolefulYin yoga app. And it's also conversations that I have with some of my patients in my reflexology business. And I'll tell you that, you know what? It's okay. We're really okay with this. And I'm going to explain why stillness feels so hard and it's so uncomfortable. Because you might not know this yet, but the reason why stillness feels so hard has nothing to do with you not being good at relaxing. It's not that your mind is broken or that you're too busy or that you just don't have that quote unquote right mindset. It has nothing to do with any of that. You know what it has to do with? Your nervous system. That beautiful, intelligent body and nervous system that's always just trying to protect you. Okay? And I'm going to dive a little deeper in this so you get some context. You see, we've spent so many years in motion. And especially if you're over 40, you've really done it. The rushing, the doing, the producing, the caring for everybody else, right? The hustle culture, like I talked about that a lot in one of my previous podcast episodes. It was all about how to break free from the hustle culture, right? Especially when you're over 40. Because let's face it, at this point in life, we've had a lot of practice and we've pretty much nailed it to a T on the hustling, right? And that kind of movement becomes the way we feel all the time. I got to push, I got to force, I got to do, I got to do, I got to do. And so when we first stop, when we actually take time to rest or we drop into stillness, whether it's in a yin yoga class, whether it's doing breath work or meditation, it can actually feel unsafe to your nervous system at first. Yeah, your nervous system is going to go, whoa, wait a minute. We're slowing down. We're pausing. We're getting still. What's this all about? Not used to that. Danger, right? Because again, your nervous system is there to protect you and it doesn't like change. And so it thinks that what we're doing, being still, And pausing is actually a bad thing at first. Let me just tell you that at first, okay? Stick with me here because you're going to get it. That stillness starts to bring up everything we've been holding down and shoving into ourselves. Emotions, fatigue, thoughts we haven't processed. It's kind of like we've just been sweeping all the dust under the carpet, right? And all of a sudden it's like you're looking at the carpet and there's this massive bump in it and you're like, what the F is this? And so all of that feels so uncomfortable. And it takes courage and it's uncomfortable. So we don't want to do it. But here's the thing. The only way you're going to train your nervous system from feeling unsafe is to actually start being still more often. It's like, I'm going to give you a completely different analogy here. You're looking at your biceps and you're like, yeah, I really want some defined biceps, right? Like I want some strength. I want to be able to like curl my bicep in and see that little lump, right? That little bump and that line, right? We all want that line. I know I do. Anyway, but if I just stare at the weights and I don't do anything, or if I pick them up and I go, oh, no, this is going to be too hard. I put them back down. Guess what? Am I going to get defined biceps? No. So I pick them up and maybe the first few times I do, 8 reps 3 times, like 2 pounds each, right? And I'm just starting. I'm building momentum, right? Eventually it starts to get easier and easier and easier. And then I start to see change. I'm looking at my bicep and I'm like, whoa, look at that. There's a little bit of a definition happening there. And so it's the same thing with training your bicep is the same thing as training your mind that stillness is safe, training your nervous system that stillness is safe. So I want to talk a little bit about a personal story, a personal reflection of mine. So the first time that I ever did yin, it was quote unquote by accident because I thought I was going to my regular Ashtanga class, but it changed and I didn't realize it. And so I'm in the class and I'm like looking around and I'm like, why is everybody just sitting there? And then the teacher walks in and it's like, okay, and now we're going to, she starts the class and she's like, yeah, and we're going to start with tadpole. And I'm like, tadpole. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, this is Ashtanga series 1. We're supposed to be standing up here. I thought, well, it's a substitute teacher. Maybe she's just, starting off things a little different. So I was like, I'm going to roll with it, right? I'm in the class. I'm not going to get up and leave. That's just rude. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go with it. So there we are. We're in tadpole, AKA wide knee child's pose. And it's like, a couple of minutes. And I'm like, what the heck's happening? Like 2 minutes here? Like, hello? 3 minutes rolls around. Finally, 5 minutes rolls around. We come out and I'm like, okay, I guess she just wanted to settle us in. Next thing I know, we're moving into another yin pose and another yin pose and another yin pose. And I'm like, okay, I'm clearly not in an Ashtanga class. I don't know what this is. So you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. So I thought, I really don't know what this is all about, but I'm going to embrace being still for whatever length of time it is, because it seems like we're holding these poses like forever. So I allowed the stillness, even though I had no concept, no idea of what was happening. I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to be here. And after a few more poses, I was like, I had this moment. I call it like a light bulb moment. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can just be here. Like everything in me wanted to move. I wanted to fix. I wanted to fidget. I wanted to check my watch. Like I wanted to look around the room. It was like, I wanted to do everything but be still. And because I didn't know what kind of class I was in, that just added to the complexity of like, why am I being still? Why can't I move around? Now, keep in mind, I had been practicing yoga for about 10 years at that point, and I never did yin before. So I was always doing like Ashtanga, I was doing vinyasa flow, or like, like a gentle hatha class or something. I even did power yoga, I did hot yoga. So I never did yin. So I was like, I don't even know what this stillness is about. This is like disturbing me, right? And then it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. This isn't about my body being tight. Oh, I'm starting to feel things like emotions are coming up, thoughts are coming up. And I realized, and this was probably about like an hour into the 90-minute class, because back then classes were all 90 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, I'm holding on to so much. I'm like, this is exhausting. I'm exhausted. I'm tired of holding on all these thoughts, all this stress, all this anxiety, all this worry, all this anger. Like, I was in an abusive marriage at the time to an alcoholic. And let me tell you, between trying to navigate him and help him try to get better, and then, of course, I was in the corporate world back then with an extremely high stress job. And I was like, I was holding on to a lot. And in that moment, I realized stillness isn't passive. There's nothing about it being passive. It's about deeply and quietly being powerful. It is a deep, quiet, powerful concept, stillness. It's that moment when we can stop running from ourselves and we can start remembering who we actually are beneath all that noise, right? Between all the chaotic moments, the stillness allows us to come back and go, I know who I am. And you know what? I was hooked after that. And I've been practicing yin now for like over 30 years. I've been teaching yin for like 25 years, because I will tell you, after that one practice, I was hooked and I was like, I want to practice more, but I was like, this is what I want to teach. And I was already a teacher at the time, but I was teaching like hatha and flow and hot yoga. And I was like, that's not what I want to teach anymore. I want to teach yin. So here's a little emotional insight for you. You might not know this yet. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of you don't know this yet, and that's okay. But the reason why stillness feels so hard is because it's the space where healing begins. It's like your body is kind of quietly whispering to you, I finally have your attention now. And I'll tell you, when you get to that space, that energy, that vibration, that frequency of that, it can bring up tears, restlessness, boredom, right? And it's all okay, because this is all part of the unwinding. And let me put a little bit of traditional Chinese medicine spin on this for you, okay? We say in Chinese medicine that yin energy is the energy of stillness, coolness, reflection, and it balances our yang energy, the doing, the moving, the achieving, right? Yin and yang. You need both. But the reality is, in our world and in this hustle culture, most of us are living on yang overdrive. It's like, where is the yin? I'm all yang. And trust me, I know that vibe. I know that vibe of all yang, right? And I think honestly, I swear to God, like I do truly believe in a higher power. So, universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it. That day I landed in that yin class and I didn't know it. That was a gift from the universe. A gift from the universe that was not only meant for me to experience, but for me to share with other people and to impact. thousands of people over the age of 40 to realize that, you know what, it's time to start getting out of that yang energy. And it's time to start coming into your yin energy. And with that time, and the more often you're there, it's going to start to feel like you're coming back home to yourself. So if you've ever found yourself lying in Shavasana thinking, oh God, I can't stop my mind. I'm thinking about this. Is Shavasana over yet? Or maybe you're sitting in meditation and it's the same thing, right? You're like, I just want to get up and I want to do something, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You're not being bad at being still. You're just learning to trust the quiet again. And you're learning to basically embrace the stillness. And every time that you choose to pause, even for like one mindful breath, okay? You're teaching your nervous system that it's okay, that it is safe to rest. Just like when you're training your biceps. That's the real practice here. So today, I invite you to take one small yin moment for yourself. Maybe you're going to take 3 slow breaths with your eyes closed before you open up that phone first thing in the morning. Because let's face it, the minute a lot of us, we don't even get out of bed. The phone's right beside the bed, right? We pick up the phone first. So try taking 3 slow, mindful breaths. Or try sitting with your tea or your latte or your coffee and actually tasting it, not just like hoovering it down your mouth to get that quick shot of like caffeine, but actually mindfully enjoy it. Because you might not know this yet, but those tiny quiet moments are where you're starting to reclaim your calm, your clarity, your courage, and your stillness. And that's what this journey, this yinning at life is all about. Learning to balance your yin and your yang, stepping out of the culture of hustling and doing more and spending more time discovering who you are truly meant to be. And let's face it, after 40, absolutely, hallelujah. We want this, right? So take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Until next time, remember, try taking a couple more breaths, be gentle with yourself, and remember this: calm isn't something you find, it's something that you allow. There is something that is so incredible that's happening in the SolefulYin world right now. The SolefulYin yoga app, an app that is designed to serve people over 40 who are craving calm, who are craving better sleep, who are craving ease in their body, in their minds, and in their lives, who want deep flexibility and mobility in their body, who want to feel good in their body, who want to live a life that is beyond extraordinary at the age of 40 and way beyond into the 50s, 60s, even the 80s. The SolefulYin app. I invite you to come in, join the membership, and start to explore and discover how yin yoga, along with reflexology, acupressure, breath work, meditation, and even very exclusive yin yoga series that are all designed for people over 40 who are craving that simple, peaceful life. Thanks so much again for pressing play on today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.